These are the eyes of 24-year-old James Holmes. If you'll notice, something is terribly wrong with his eyes. The iris is the colored part. The pupil is right in the center and it's black. And that is the lens of the eye. The iris is the colored part. And the iris has a round shape. You'll notice in his eyes that the iris, the outer part, the iris, the colored part of his eyes do not have the round shape. Look very closely and you can see what I mean. This photo came up today on the Daily Mail, Co-UK. I'll put a link up for you. Let's take a closer look at his eyes. Here's the right eye. I'm doing this video in negative because I think color tends to distract us, but in the negative, the shape really stands out. You can see the eye is polygonal. The round shape is missing. Here's the left eye. Now they say that this was his mug shot after his arrest. There's something else I'm going to point out to you that I noticed. Can you see how angled the iris, the colored part of the eye is? It's not round. Incidentally, I did some reading, a lot of reading, news articles on the internet about him, trying to find out as much as I could. And apparently the program he was in, the neuroscience program at the university, was funded by DARPA. There are many other connections between him and the military-industrial complex that I won't go into because I'm sure you're hearing about them in other videos. But there's always a connection. Do I believe that he worked alone? No, of course not. And did you notice how quickly the police jumped on the idea that he was all alone and no one else was involved? That's not how you conduct an investigation. As you probably know by now, witnesses have seen him in the presence of other men, especially his neighbor who noticed him rushing in and out of his apartment just hours before the massacre. He was accompanied by another very stocky-looking man who waited for him in the parking lot. They were in such a rush, the neighbor became fearful and thought something was wrong and got her kids. Okay, can you notice the shape of the eye? This is not normal or natural. And here's the right eye again. The eyes look very hollow and very artificial. The face looks odd in that there's a dark stripe going down the face, which is, of course, the reverse of highlight, but nevertheless, I'm pointing it out. And this is the condition of his hair. which was under a protective helmet because he was wearing protective gear. The hair is very flat and very limp, and his natural hair seemed to be that way also. This is the bright red, orange hair that he or someone else had dyed for him. Here's the same hair. It's very fluffed up, almost like it's been styled, possibly blown dry with a hair dryer, but to me, right off, the hair looked odd. It caught my attention as if it was meant to be like a centerpiece of attention, very accentuated. Notice the eyes look very hollow. Here's that fluffed up hair again when he was in court. At times his eyes appear to dilate, and the black part, the pupil, becomes very, very large. Here it looks like there is something actually in each eye. Can you see what I'm seeing? As if something is staring out of each eye.